Preview our Premier League game versus Wolves on Sunday. If you'd like a question today in the press conference, please use the raise hand function on Zoom so we can see who would like a question. We'll get around to as many as we can. We'll do today's press conference in three parts. There'll be a broadcast section, followed by a daily section, and then we'll finish with a Sunday section. We're going to start today on Zoom with Moose from TalkSport. You there? No? Dharmesh? We'll start with you then. Dharmesh, unmute yourself. Away you go.
Good afternoon, Thomas. COVID tests yesterday. Is it still 4?
Yeah, no more positive results at the moment.
That must be a relief for you.
Of course, but the lottery starts again tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. We're happy in the moment that Kai has more than only one negative result, so he was back in training, and let's see.
Thomas, do you know the criteria for a match to be postponed, and does there need to be some sort of clarity transmitted to the fans, to the clubs as well from the Premier League?
If they want to, they can. It's not in my hands. Clarity is always good, and transparency is always good in every subject, even in this. I know the rules now. I did not get involved too early. I just read them and instantly forgot them because there are many of them. What happens if and when does this need to happen? Like all that stuff. Of course, there are rules, and that's all I can say.
Eddie Howe last night called into question the threat to the integrity of the competition given all of these postponements. Do you think he has a point?
He has a point, yeah. But everybody else who maybe says we should still continue has also a point. So there's not one answer to all these questions that are asked in society and to professional football right now. That's why I don't have the feeling that I should go out with like one proper opinion and make myself believe that I am right on this. I think situation is very complex. And safety and health is always at first place, and we are still I feel very privileged that we still can work, and we still have exceptions from the rules and had exceptions from the rules in terms of how we can work and come to work. We are still very privileged to be tested all the time, but I can understand the point, of course. Is maybe a better moment to play against Chelsea with 4 positive COVID tests in these 10 days than not. And while games are postponed and others keep on playing and trying, yeah, you can up in some situation that you may find unfair or how did he say it? Like he was doubting what the
integrity.
The integrity, yes, I can understand, but there's also a bigger picture to protect and a bigger picture to focus on, and I still see both. I still see both points.
Last couple from me, Thomas. Were there signs last night, despite the result, that you're emerging from what you could describe as an indifferent run of form of late?
Yeah, hopefully. Also, it's very hard to feel it because we are very disappointed with the result. Still, we are trying hard to not accept the result in the match, in analyzing the match and the performance, because it is a clear win for us. Obviously, it's not, and then everybody, because we are competitive, because we want to have the proof for our performance in results. It's easy to doubt. It's easy to be emotional. It's easy to let disappointment take over. But at the same time, we have to accept that we played a very good match of football, created a lot of chances, and got punished. That happens in the moment, and still I agree with you. There are good signs, and there are good behaviors, and there are good datas, and there's good energy. Look at the joy, the pure joy when we scored, how the team was celebrating, how everybody felt this relief, and what the effort we put in. If we continue to put the effort in, we will get the output. There is no alternative than to give everything in. There's no guarantee for results, so we will keep on pushing for the maximum effort and for the maximum input. But it's not that easy. It's only one day after the game to brush it all off your shoulders. But we're in the middle of the process.
Last one, Thomas.
Yeah, just finally, Thomas, it's Wolves next. They were your first opponents as Chelsea manager. I'm sure that feels like a long time ago now, but could you have even dreamed that night that what's transpired since has happened?
What has happened since then?
Yeah.
A lot of games since then, and
and what you've achieved.
Yes, and what? Yeah, but of course we had a big achievement in terms of a trophy, but the achievement is also, it's always the living the moment and pushing the moment to the limit, and living the moment up to the limit is also the achievement. To be part of this and to be feel valued and let everybody feel valued and be a part of this club is what makes me happy. And so it's nice that we have some games under our belts, some victories, and even a big title, and but it's not the moment to reflect on it. In the moment, we are in the middle of brushing off this result off our shoulders, stay positive, and find a 11 that is competitive enough to hopefully win the match against Wolves, because it's a tough one. It's hard to create chances against them. It's hard to break their defensive line. You need to be very careful of their speed and individual quality up front. So there's a lot of things to focus on.
Moose, talk sport.
Hi Thomas, I hope you're well.
Hi, I am.
I partly heard the answer to your first question. You mentioned there you're waiting for the lottery of results from the testing today. Is that for a manager a worry? Because I know you like to control everything, down to the smallest detail of your team, and yet the biggest thing you can't control is who is available this weekend, because it's down to results that you've said are a lottery.
Yeah, well, we wait for the results tomorrow. For today, we did already, so nobody can enter the training ground without a negative test. We were even maybe not too careful, but we left Kai out because he felt unwell. So we thought there's a high possibility that he might be positive. Did a PCR, which was not even needed in my information for the match. So he was negative on a flow test, but we left him out of the squad. Had nobody else on the bench left. We took this risk in consideration that health is first. Kai is still negative, so he was in training, but you can never be sure. Tomorrow everything can be different, and we have to go on from there. Tomorrow 2:00 is training. After that we sit in the bus and go to Wolverhampton. And I tell you no secret, once you have players out for COVID, you have them out for 10 days. 10 days in December means a minimum of 3 matches. This creates some obstacles and some issues to overcome.
Emma Hayes mentioned after the Chelsea women defeat last night to Wolfsburg, she mentioned the fact that when she looked at her team, she didn't recognise them because they're worried about COVID, amongst other things, that they're worried about the current situation. Are you worried about the mental health of your players with all this going on at the moment?
It's a fair point, because at some point you can get very, very focused to focus only on performance and to see the guys only as professional players. but they are like human beings, and they have families, and they care for their family, and they have a strong bond which gives them strength, belief, confidence, and whatever you need to be a good professional and be a better football player. So I would be very surprised if they have no concerns. I would be very surprised if it's not a subject, because it's everywhere around, positive cases. Like I said, many, like I just said, they have families. They take care about their families and are responsible and very close. So yeah, it is an issue, but still. Still, we managed to play yesterday on a high level. Still, we managed, in my opinion, to shift the focus before the match away from problems, but more than it's a reward to still have the privilege to do what we love. And hopefully the situation gets not more complicated, not more worrying, because then, of course, at some point it gets can become a problem for players to be fully focused, and I can understand.
And last one from me. This is your first experience of a Christmas in England playing football. In Germany, in France, and you'd have had a break. Here we play, and we play a lot. We play every 3 or 4 days. As you know, the more you ask people to do things and work harder, sometimes their immune system drops and they can be susceptible even more to illness. Do you think maybe we should be looking at how many games now we're playing over this period, and whether it's actually good for the health of players in years to come, not only this year, obviously?
Yeah, for me it's the first time. Normally I was in a short break, in a short holiday when I worked in Germany or France. Then I switched on the TV and was so happy to see football going on in that kind of level. So I think it's very unique, and I love to be in the middle of it. To be honest, it is very tiring. It makes you fatigue. It makes you it's not always the most pleasant thing. But in the same time it is, because this is where you want to be. We are still, and you know it very well, because I said many times before, we are in a situation where we play too many competitions. Do I have, like yesterday I heard that they had some draw for Nations League and all these extra competitions, and we have conference leagues now into the Euro League, and we have extra competitions as if we need more games of football, and as if we need that. And this is where I strongly disagree. My concern is that we increase the amount, but we don't increase the level of the game, and we want to have high level games, and this is what we have here. And here we have high level games through the period where everybody else is used to do a break, and where English tradition is to play football. Honestly, I love it, and I think it's very unique, and I cannot see how to take this away should solve the issue, because in my opinion we play for the top players, for the international players. We have too many competitions out there for them to secure the quality of the sport.
John Southall, hi.
Hello, Thomas, can you hear me there?
Yeah.
Can I just ask about a couple of players? Where are we with Mateo Kovacic? Is he still isolating, or is he out ready to play now?
First day in training today.
So how far off do you think he is from being able to be involved?
If you want to have my very honest opinion, we have again Jorginho in doubt for Sunday because he's in pain. We have Ruben Loftus-Cheek in doubt because he's in pain. So do we know that they can travel with us tomorrow? No, we don't. I don't know if it's possible they play on Sunday. I don't know. So maybe we start with N'Golo and Matteo. Is that fair? Would that be fair? No. Would that be possible? I don't know, but maybe we do, because who else?
Does that bring you back to the Eddie Howe's comments of the fairness of the competition? You've got five players out with COVID. Other teams probably have a similar number, and games are being called off. You've got loads of injuries as well. Can you understand that integrity question?
I can understand the question. I can understand the point. I can at the same time for me, I'm sure that there are rules, and if we are and why games are postponed. I cannot believe that teams get for the same amount of COVID cases protection and a postponed game. Let's see, because I mean, if you postpone one match for COVID, for me, but it's only my personal opinion, it must be almost 3 matches then. Must be, because the players need to be 10 days out, no? Because our players need to be 10 days out. So let's say if we cancel the Everton game, nobody of these players can play Wolverhampton and Brentford next. So if you cancel one, you cancel 3. You end up in maybe another problem. So I can understand the decision to protect as many games as possible, and still I can also see the point in feeling the privilege to play. And I will not go down this road of making excuses or blaming or whatever. I simply don't want to go there. This is
But you still think in your situation, in your situation, you still think with the players you've got out, it's still okay for you to play.
Well, we prefer to play with all players in, but at the moment, it does not make sense for me to reflect on if it's better to postpone. It's simply not my decision. It's a decision from Premier League. If Premier League takes the decision that this game is postponed, we take care about it and we handle the situation. If they say we play, and this is in the moment we play, we focus on the guys who are here. And like I said, maybe then we end up with N'Golo and Mateo Kovacic from the start.
Last one, John.
Yeah, talking about N'Golo, I suspect you'd be really reticent to start him unless he is really ready to start, given the problems he's had.
Yeah, but we need to find the balance now, because we put everything on Jorginho's shoulders and on his responsibility. Ruben got injured yesterday, so let's see. Maybe we are forced to do a bit crazy stuff that we would normally not do. But what's normal? We miss key players and need to find solutions.
Last one in the section, Paul Belson, LP.
Thank you very much. Just a quick one, Thomas. You mentioned Wolves earlier. They played very well with no reward against City and Liverpool, one against Brighton in the week. How impressed have you been with them on this little recent run? Yeah,
they had a rough start to the season and recovered from there. They're very disciplined with a clear structure and very hard to break down the defensive line. Very hard to create chances, so a big task for us, and we will focus on it from tomorrow. Before training, we will have a meeting. Then we will do our training and be well prepared, because we need to be well prepared. As you say, they had very, very good performances. We got a very late goal against Liverpool to lose the match. And had a deserved win at Brighton, so tough one.
That'll do me. Thank you very much. Good luck.